Welcome to this channel and thank you very much for always following. And I want to say a big shout out to Janet. I think she checked out on me when I said about my eyes. Why do I tend to disagree with the latest opinion poll? I have checked that report from the Star, and for the first time I think I'm disagreeing with that report. Apart from the bigger picture that Raila Odinga is trailing William Ruto, there is what I was trying to capture, that according to that poll that have just been released, Raila Odinga has 62% of support from Nyanza. Although they have not said how much it is getting from Nyanza, but I think 62% from Nyanza, that's where also I have a doubt. The same report is saying that Ruto has 78% from Rift Valley. So I think for someone who is listening to this, watching this video, can you ask yourself, what would make Raila Odinga have 62% from Nyanza? And where does the other 38 go to? Because Nyanza has Siaya, Homa Bay, Kisumu, Migori, and I think they included Kisii and Nyamira. Do you really think that 62% in towards is what Raila has from Nyanza? The same report is saying that Raila Odinga has 24% of support from Kambani. And according to that, actually William Ruto is also leading there. I don't know. A bit skeptical. Then the cost, it's 47 for Raila, 39 for Ruto. That is a bit understandable. But then the overall report is showing that Raila Odinga's support is staggering at 35, while William Ruto is ahead. While I disagree with a bit of the regional representation, I think there might be sense on what is going on. But is it that the sampling number in this is normally 3,000? And I have asked, I've done opinion video on this channel. I've maintained that 3,000 sample, I don't think should even represent the 22 million voters that are in that register. However, parameters that you might use, age, level of education, regional balance, because even if you do regional balance, 3,000 divide by all these counties, divide by 48 counties, how many people are speaking per county? But I won't want to go to the details of how they came up with that report. However, I am to the opinion that there might be some setbacks on Raila's side, and there might be some good hits on William Ruto's side that is making the graph to look like that. Let me take you back to these reports normally done monthly. Last month, Raila was still at 35, Ruto was still at the 46. I think he has added some decimals there, so that's why it's at 7. Last time I think it was 46. So, according to them, Raila Odinga's support has plateaued. It has remained staggering at that level. And it kept me thinking and really asking myself a question, guys. What could be the probability that Raila Odinga's support base is staggering? And why is William Ruto remaining ahead? Notwithstanding my reservation with that poll. I think I was chatting to some guys just before I was doing this. I was talking to a guy, tried to pick up his mind on this opinion poll, Maurice Odero. I spoke to Boris and I also spoke to a guy from Nyeri, I think called Senator Mariambo, someone, yeah. And there are two divergent views. What's going on? Before we look at why critically Ruto might be having this default lead with less votes compared to Raila Odinga's staggering numbers. Let's look at it and let's look at it in terms of numbers. Now, I think one, William Ruto's consistent onslaught against Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta might be bearing fruits outside central Kenya. That is what I think. For the Central Kenya people, it is not going to work against them. But I think it is drawing some sympathy votes out of the Central Kenya. Because to the Central Kenyan people, it is this onslaught to them is being viewed as a disrespect. Then the efforts by the Jubilee leaders around President Uhuru Kenyatta to explain that fallout might be sinking to the voters of Central Kenya. But outside Central Kenya, the areas of the coast and bits of some parts of Western and the northeastern bits, because according to this report, Raila is leading in northeastern, that is the Eden Duale space. I think he's getting, and more importantly, also the Rift Valley, he's getting a lot of sympathy votes from those areas, because when they hit the president, they normally they package it as they are victims. They play the victim card. So I think that might be playing against them. Now, I want to pursue my narrative, and I want to use this point withstanding the fact that I was doubting the Eastern numbers. Could it be that the Kalonzo Musyoka factor sitting at the fence is working against Raila Odinga? And I think I will be vindicated with time, because I maintained here that Raila needed Kalonzo Musyoka on his side. You cannot depend on the three governors. According to this report, Kalonzo is having some 2 or 1.3% nationwide. But I think the fact that Kalonzo is sitting at the fence, that is why William Ruto is ahead of Raila Odinga, if in case that is the truth. So the Kalonzo factor sitting at the fence is making a lot of people are a bit undecided, and it's making the Eastern, the Ukambani votes be a little bit of the swing vote, because Kalonzo have not decided. The direction Kalonzo is going to take is going to be a landmark. It's going to offer the landmark direction to the Ukambani. I think the three governors are not still dependable. So that is one of the reasons why I think that can still be there. Another point, and this one I want to put in question form. Do you think Musalia Mudavadi is adding some value to Raila from Western? Do you think? Think about it. So this is what Musalia Mudavadi and ANC leader are adding to William Ruto. I don't think they have numbers in Western, because they are facing blows from DAPK and ODM and Francis Atwoli, and even recently Haniri have just decamped from ANC to ODM. So they don't have, but I think they're giving Ruto the perceptional value. They're adding the perception that, Ruto is winning. Ruto is winning. So the winning perspective, the winning perception, I think, is sinking in some of William Ruto's supporters, even outside the Central Kenya, outside the Western, especially the Rift Valley and these other regions. So I think what really needs to be done is Raila needs to do his signings. William Ruto has already done his signings. I don't think he's going to add any other person there. But Raila Odinga needs to do his signings. So that is one thing that I realize, that there is the perceptional advantage that William Ruto is gaining from the presence of Musalia Mudavadi. That is also one thing that is might be working for William Ruto. Now, my third point is the defections that William Ruto are receiving. Are they going down to campaign for him? Can you ask yourself? Because just in this month, he has received Alfred Keter, Boynet, Marago MP was received yesterday, received some 10 MCS from Ranga. In Nakuru, I think he has many MPs apart from some 2. He received recently, I think, Naivasha MP. I think he also received the Molo MP. And this defection has been treated to these morning photos. The morning photos of a held meeting and have decamped. Do you think they are adding some value to him? Just ask yourself, do you think they are adding some value? Because it's not a thin line. You can sign these people, they can defect to your party, but they are unpopular on the ground. Could that also be a probability that they are working for him? Another thing that I'm also noting on William Ruto's side is I think he has some popular leaders seeking elected seats. I tend to think so, that like in Nakuru, Susan Kehiga is a strong is strong, even though vis-a-vis Lee Kinyanjui, but Kihika is strong. Anne Waiguru is emerging. Irungu Kang'ata is emerging from Murang'a. Those are the ones I'm seeing strong. Also in Rift Valley, he has strong leaders. I don't know even why. This takes me to Ukambani. If there is a place that William Ruto have not held a successful rally, is Ukambani. I don't know. I don't know why. I just have a serious beef with the Ukambani report. He doesn't even have a serious contender for governor in Makueni or Kitui. He only has the party chairman Mudhama eyeing the Machakos and doesn't look promising. So do you think that these other aspirants that are seeking governors in these other areas, even if you look at Mombasa, I think he doesn't have a very serious candidate for governor there. He only has Aisha Jumwa in Malindi, in Kilifi, who has been absorbed by the whole ODM team, because ODM is, Kilifi I think is an ODM zone. If you ask me, they swept all the seats last general election. And out of 53 MCS, I think ODM has 52. So that is something that have happened. Do you think this is working for William Ruto? Does he have leaders that are more electable and are more receptive to the ground? For me, those are some of the things that I think. Now, on Raila Odinga side, the absence in the political scene this month, because this poll has been done today is date 17, 19, let me just confirm. Today is 17. Raila Odinga has been out for the last 10 days. So from 4th to 14th, Raila has been out of the space. Could it mean that things have not moved on because he was not there? So that tells you that, of course, the efforts by the Tano 10, the Sky team, Joho team, are there, but they have not had very strong significance on the ground. But this could also be another point, because Raila has been away for a month, for 10 days. So if this report was done within these 17 days, then I think it might be unfair to him, because William Ruto was away in Dubai but came back after 2 days and joined the campaign trail. Will this be? Lastly, I want to mention two things. Raila Odinga is not campaigning in Rift Valley, especially the Kipsigis areas. He's only campaigning in Ma community, and actually only Ma and part of Samburu. But he is not campaigning since the rally in Eldoret last year in October. I think he has not gone back to Eldoret, Uasin Gishu, Nandi, Kericho. In fact, I've not seen Raila Odinga in Kericho and Bomet. So I think, and I'll do a comprehensive analysis on why Raila Odinga is skipping Rift Valley. Secondly, I am not seeing Raila Odinga attacking, going to the areas of Marsabit, Isiolo, and the Garissa, Mandera. I think he needs to invade that area. Even though we saw the president recently met some leaders and there were some defections from UDA to Jubilee. So this could also be contributing to this. But guys, what do you think? Do you agree with this opinion poll? Personally, I have my own reservations.